And then finally, there is the talent, the work, the role, and the talent. And, the metaphor, we've talked about this many times, that often runs into my mind is Formula One racing. So when preparing for a Formula One race, all tracks are not the same. So the work you have to do is different week to week. And then there is the car. So how is the car set up? What sort of tires does it have? How are the tires set? And what kind of engine do we have? Do we have some advantage in the car itself? Have we embedded advantage in the car itself? And then finally, there's the driver. And in order to win the race, you need the track, the car, and the driver to work together. Click, boom. And if we get the click, we have a chance to get the boom. So if we go back to the best job you ever had, which was the CEO of Org Solutions, I'd love to hear your reflections on what was it about the work itself, and what you were doing and the kind of impact that it could have and the value it could create. What was it that about that made it so interesting for you? And and then if you could reflect a little bit on the setup. So Michael comes to you and says, "Hey, Chris, you're not going to be a consultant. You're going to be the CEO of this business called Org Solutions, dot, dot, dot." And then you went about assembling the team and the capabilities and so forth. And I'd love to hear the sort of how the McKinsey culture either fought or supported the development and implementation of those solutions, which were all characteristics of the role itself. And then finally, why was this such a click for you? I mean, your face changed when you described, "Hey, this was the best job." You get this very nice smile, and it's the best job I ever had. Can you can you talk me through it just a little bit? Because I think all of us we're looking for that click.
Yeah, it's so interesting the way you phrase that, Sandy, because you and I spend so much time looking at this from the company lens. We've got to work, we've got to roll, who's the right talent. But all of us are wandering through this huge world looking for our own click, right? And that's looking at it from the talent lens. So I wish I had found this message earlier in my life. I don't know how many people will know who Scott Galloway is. He's a professor at NY, really interesting.
Very cool guy.
Yeah. And, uh, and he argues that follow your passion is the worst advice anybody's ever been given. I don't know if it's the worst, but I do like what he replaces it with, which is you got to find out what you can do that the world values and will pay for.